Have you ever uploaded a video just so proud of it, and then nothing? While another video seemingly out of nowhere just explodes? Well, today, we're going to crack the code on what it really takes to make it on YouTube. You know, this is the question that probably keeps every creator up at night. I mean, with millions of hours of video being uploaded every single day, what actually separates a viral hit from a video that just gets completely lost in the noise? Here's the thing. It's not luck. It's a formula.
And that formula, it all starts with understanding that you have two masters you have to serve. On one side, you've got the algorithm. It's a cold, calculating machine that only cares about data, things like click-through rate and watch time. But on the other side, you've got the human viewer, and they're driven by completely different things: emotion, curiosity, and let's be honest, a deep-seated fear of being bored. The real secret here isn't about picking a side. It's about getting them to work together in perfect harmony.
So, how do we even start to do that? Well, it all begins with the very first battle your video will ever face. You've got to win the click.
The way the algorithm measures this is with something called click-through rate, or CTR. It's actually pretty simple. Out of all the people YouTube shows your video to, what percentage of them actually clicks on it? A higher CTR tells the algorithm, hey, people are interested in this one. The packaging is working. But here is the piece of the puzzle we so often forget. The algorithm doesn't have a mouse. It doesn't click on anything. People do. So the real question isn't just how do I get a high CTR? No, it's what makes a real, living, breathing person choose my video out of a literal sea of other options? The answer, and it really boils down to this, is one word: emotion. Research from vidIQ found that videos that are emotionally charged are twice as likely to be shared. Think about that. Emotion is the bridge. It connects the desires of the human viewer to the cold, hard data points that the algorithm absolutely loves to see. So, how do you actually create that emotion? Well, you use a toolkit of proven psychological triggers. You can spark curiosity with a title that hints at a secret. You can tap into novelty by covering something that's rare or unusual. You can even leverage a little bit of controversy or social proof. These aren't just cheap tricks. They are the fundamental keys to winning that incredibly important first click. All right, so they clicked. You won the first battle. But don't celebrate just yet, because an even tougher one is just beginning. You have to survive the first minute.
Now this next number, it's brutal. According to the data, a staggering 55% of your potential audience is gone within the first 60 seconds. Just let that sink in for a second. More than half the people who are interested enough to click just vanished. And it gets even more intense. You don't actually have a full minute to convince them. You have about 8 seconds. That's it. That's the average consideration window before a viewer's finger starts hovering over that back button.
What this means is you simply do not have time to gently ease into your content. To fight this massive drop-off, you need a weapon. You need a powerful, psychologically engineered hook that grabs the viewer by the collar and refuses to let go. And the best hooks, they all follow predictable patterns. You could use a high-stakes warning, which creates a ton of urgency, or maybe an unexpected contradiction that just messes with their expectations and sparks curiosity, or a specific number promise, which basically tells the viewer's brain exactly what it's going to get. These things are literally engineered to hold attention.
Okay, so you've hooked them. You survived that critical first 60 seconds. But now the real marathon begins. You have to keep them engaged for the entire video. And this brings us to the algorithm's absolute favorite metric, audience retention. This just measures how much of your video people actually stick around to watch. If they stay, it sends a huge signal to YouTube that your content is valuable, and guess what? They're going to show it to even more people.
But you know, retention isn't a one-size-fits-all kind of thing. Just look at this data here. Educational how-to videos have nearly double the average retention of vlogs. This is so important because it shows that the kind of content you make sets a completely different baseline for what good retention even looks like.
So, it doesn't matter what your niche is, every longer video faces the same enemies: viewer boredom and that dreaded mid-video slump. You know, that point where attention just naturally starts to drift. So how in the world do you combat this?
The answer is with something called pattern interrupts. These are just small, deliberate changes that basically reset the viewer's attention. Think about a simple word popping up on screen to emphasize a point, or a funny sound effect, a quick switch in camera angles, or even a big background change. Anything that breaks the pattern re-engages the brain and pulls them right back in.
Okay, we have covered a lot. Winning the click, hooking the viewer, holding their attention.
Let's bring it all together now into one single winning formula.
Because like we said right from the very start, this was never about choosing between the algorithm and the viewer. It's all about a simple but really powerful realization. The things that delight the human are precisely the things that generate the data the machine is looking for. Success isn't a choice, it's an alignment.
And here's exactly how it all connects. The algorithm wants a high CTR. You give it that with human-focused emotional triggers. It wants high retention in that first minute. You deliver that with a powerful hook. It wants a high average view duration. You create that with engaging pattern interrupts. See? Every human tactic directly feeds the algorithm the signal it wants.
And this isn't just some short-term trick for one video. As the expert Jason Pantana says, focusing on retention is a long-term investment in your channel's entire reputation. The more you satisfy your viewers, the more YouTube starts to trust your channel, and the more it's going to reward you with real, sustainable growth.
So I'll leave you with this one question. As you're planning your very next video, I want you to ask yourself, are you creating for a machine or are you creating for a human? Because the secret, really, is that if you truly focus on the human, you'll find you've cracked the code for both.